Welcome to episode 9 of my DRY road trip. In today's video, Abby and I are going to Canada. This will be Abby's 4th country that she's ever been to, and I'm really excited to explore the iconic dive sites of Vancouver Island. Vamonos! Welcome to Azul Unlimited. I'm Sarah, and I'm a van-dwelling scuba instructor sharing my journey of becoming a cold water diver. This week, I'm leaving the Pacific Northwest and taking my dry suit to Victoria on Vancouver Island. Join me each week for new adventures in scuba diving and van life.
Get it! Oi! That's the technique. Get it.
Reminder, you can dive with me in Baja Mexico, January 2023. There are spots still available, so go to my website to check out the details. I haven't even made my bed yet, and Abby is still asleep. Sweet girl, are you gonna come say hi to everybody? No? It's fine. I've been hanging around northern Washington for quite a while now, and it just makes sense for me to take the trip to go to Canada. The ferry is only about $150 round trip, and there's no special requirements for taking dogs into the country, except for the rabies vaccination, of course. So if you are going to take your animals, make sure they have their vaccines up to date and you have something signed by your vet. But there's no quarantine, there's no special letters or blood tests that you have to do. It's really simple. So it made sense to do it. Remember, when you're going to another country, eat your fruits and vegetables before you cross the border. And something that you may not have thought about, make sure that you leave any firewood behind as well. A little random fact about me, I actually don't ever have to worry about firewood because I literally never have fires when I'm camping by myself. I didn't realize this until I moved into the van, but being a Californian and experiencing the wildfires that we have had the last few years, I am legitimately afraid of setting fires. It really doesn't matter if I'm in a place with low fire risk. There's just something about them that I love it when I get to sit around a campfire with other people, but there's something about setting a fire when I'm on my own that just makes me nervous, so I don't actually do it. It's been a scary couple of years. Anyway. Let's go to Canada!
Where are we going? Where are we going? It's taken about an hour to get through customs, so I can see the benefit to having reservations because I think I would have been closer to the front of the line to get out, but that's okay. You know, listen to tunes, chill out. Where do I gotta be? What do you think of Canada, honey? 4th country.
I'm at Ogden Point and it's a little bit loud here, so we're gonna do our best. I have read a lot about this dive site. It looks really neat and super easy to navigate. I'm just gonna go along the breakwater. Quick definition. A breakwater is an offshore wall protecting a harbor or a beach from the force of waves. In this case, the breakwater is protecting the main harbor in Victoria. There are constantly huge cruise ships, ferries, other marine vessels going in and out of this harbor, so it's really important that you stay on the outer side of the breakwater. And because you're diving on the outside of the breakwater, you need to pay attention to your conditions. Tidal exchanges will have an effect here, but the main thing you need to worry about are waves. Waves plus large wall and diver, no good. So pay attention to that and choose conditions that are appropriate for your skill level.
This breakwater is huge. There look to be some little rock pilings and outcroppings, and then a kind of small kelp forest. To be honest, I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger, and maybe there's more towards the end. I didn't walk all the way down because, like I said, it's huge, but I'm excited to check this one out. It is 6:15, coming towards high tide in the next half an hour. So I'm a tiny bit late for that perfect slack. It's gonna take me a while to get my gear down, but I think it's gonna be perfect. I have already taken down my tanks, and now I'm just taking out all of the things that can rip my seals, which means all the earrings, the necklaces, and my watch and bracelet. The parking isn't too bad around here. There is a limit. I think it's like 3.5 hours. So I got all of my gear prepped before I came here so that I can be here, you know, diving as long as possible, and then also with the cleanup just to avoid going over. I don't think they're really on top of people around here, but I like to try to respect the time limits when, you know, it's very clearly stated. I think I've gotten my pre-dive game kind of tuned in. I have my tanks out at the breakwater. I have all of my stuff ready near the doors. I still need to get into my undergarments. And the other thing that I do is I fill my shower bag so that when I finish the dive and I arrive here, I can just hang it, rinse all the salt water off of my dry suit, take that off, and then deal with the rest of my stuff. I typically try to rinse the rest of my gear at dive shops when I go for tank fills and stuff, but sometimes that doesn't work out. I will probably try, since I need to get my tanks filled tomorrow anyway. Don't get mad at me. I know I'm not perfect at rinsing my gear. I'm trying to be better about it, and especially with my dry suit, I'm taking really good care of that. But water shortage, I'm really out. Like, I need to find a place to fill my water ASAP. So yeah, I'm gonna change. In order to make a breakwater dive a little bit more interesting, I usually start my dive swimming at the surface, following the breakwater away from the shore. This way I skip the really shallow part of the dive in the beginning, and I use my safety stop to explore that area on the way back. Once I get to a desired distance, I drop down and explore the deeper part of the dive site, keeping the wall on one side of my body. And once I hit my turnaround point, either because of air usage, bottom time, or physical location, right? We want to make sure that we're not going to the very end of the breakwater where boat traffic can be. I'll turn around, go a little bit shallower, and then explore the shallow part of the breakwater on the way back. Navigating breakwater dives is super easy, and it's a great way to get your confidence up when you're just starting out navigating and leading dives with a dive buddy. This dive site seems to be great for smaller macro creatures like nudies, crabs, and smaller kelp fish, so I didn't get much footage. I'm currently shooting on my GoPro 8, and because of the wide-angle lens on the camera, it's better suited for large creature encounters. Maybe one day I'll get a camera system that can handle a wide range of shooting environments, but for now, this is what I could get. And I want to know, those of you who are really into tech and camera systems, all of that stuff, do you have a recommendation for a good underwater camera? Because what I'd like to get is something that's good for doing product shots and things that I'm hired to do on land, plus vlogging and the regular stuff that I'm doing, and then also get really nice video underwater.
I've looked at the Sony Alpha series, and those seem really nice, but they're also like real expensive. If you have a recommendation, leave it in the comments below. I probably won't be able to get anything anytime soon, but I can put it on that like wish list dream, you know? I want to take a quick break to show a little love to my Patreon community. All of you are helping me get closer to my goal of teaching scuba diving in person and online as my full-time job. I'm not there yet, so I'm still supporting myself with freelance work in web design, social media, photography, videography, and copywriting, but my patrons are giving me hope that this could become a reality. If you'd like to support what I do and get some extras from me every single month, you can join the community at patreon.com/Azul Unlimited. All in all, the dive site is nice, but it's a decent walk from the car, and the steps down to the water are large, so if you have knee or hip issues, it could be a challenge just to get in. The tide exchanges have been extreme, so I decided to focus my diving just outside of Victoria for the next 2 dives, the beautiful and remote Saanich Inland. The topography not only protects this area from the elements, but it also has created these spectacular dive sites with deep walls just a short swim from the shore. First up is Willis Point. The Saanich Inlet is located only about 30 minutes from downtown Victoria. It's a popular spot to go diving not only because it's protected, but the dive sites are also spectacular. Both of the dives that I did in the Saanich Inlet can follow similar navigating advice that I gave for the Breakwater. These are deep wall dive sites, so you can go out, explore the dive site to your max depth, keeping the wall on one side, reach your air consumption limit, your time limit, whatever the limit is, turn around, get shallower, and swim back. Pretty simple. I am at Willis Point. There seem to be no bathrooms, and it looks like it might be an easy entry. I was gonna go to McKenzie first, but I got a little confused about where I should park, so I decided to keep going to see if there was another road or some other access point to the spot, but I didn't see anything. Everything else was like residential, private roads, so that might just be it. But anyway, I continued to move along Willis Point Road and come out here just because I was already on the way. So I'm going to do my first dive here, and I will go back and figure that one out later. Visibility looks pretty nice. Look at how beautiful that water is. Oh my god. I'm not entirely sure where the dive site is supposed to be because looking at this now, there are a lot of boats here. So, oh, I just saw bubbles. It must be right there. There's that little buoyed area. Look, there's scuba divers right there. I almost forgot something that is really helpful for dry suit diving is to have short nails. So get out your clippers, friends. And now for my last dive on Vancouver Island, McKenzie. I don't know if it's McKenzie Beach or McKenzie Point. I just have McKenzie. So if you know that, you can tell me.
None of the dive sites here have a lot of sun exposure, so I came to a parking lot that also has a toilet, which is nice, just to charge batteries and get things ready for my second dive. I sort of psyched myself out of one of the spots because the walk seems really far. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do the dive. So I'm taking a rest and we'll see how this goes. From what I can gather, I could go diving anywhere off of these trails, but the drop is quite steep. I'm like looking for a decent trail that I could actually walk down. I'm probably in the wrong area because the dive shop told me that this was a great spot to go diving. I probably just don't have the right parking spot. I don't know what I'm gonna do, honestly. I don't really feel like trying to fight so hard. I mean, this is obviously not a trail. This was creek erosion. I don't know. I just, I think part of my hesitation to some of the more challenging dive sites is the fact that I'm alone. And so if I'm crawling down with gear and I hurt myself, that's not exactly a good situation to be in. All right, I've been having a little bit of a mental block about this dive site, and I think I'm just tired. And I probably need just a proper rest day. I didn't know where it was, and it wasn't super clear, you know, from the path. I kept looking off the path, and there was just such a huge drop down to the beach. But luckily, I've walked this path enough that I've found locals who have shown me the way. So it's a little bit of a walk, but it's not that bad of a walk. And the path seems to be pretty accessible. I did put on real sandals instead of my typical shower shoes, so that should make it a little bit safer. Let's check it out. All in all, great dive sites out here, and especially McKenzie. I really liked this last dive. It was well worth it, that's for sure. And it looks like there are other great sites around this area, but parking is not the funnest. If you have a smaller vehicle, you'll be fine. I kind of need to get back to the US where I have cell reception and other things, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's such a gorgeous island. Vancouver Island is so pretty. I cannot wait to come back and actually explore the northern part of the island. Thanks for watching. I want to know, have you been diving in Canada? Where did you go and what did you think? Tell me in the comments below. As always, you can help this channel by liking this video, subscribing if you aren't already, and like I said before, join my Patreon community to help me get to teaching scuba diving full time again. I'll see you on the road. Okay, love you, bye. And this, my friends, is why you should not leave things to dry on the wheel of your car. I am very lucky that nobody picked this up because I can't afford to keep buying gear. Oh my gosh, I feel very lucky. Oh, I have this
I put this light and then I sit. I don't think that's doing much of anything. I'm just gonna I'm gonna get rid of that. Whoa. Short swim from the shore. Say that a few times fast. Short swim from the shore, short swim from the shore, short swim from the shore. Whatever.